What it do? Three Dudes Fantasy Football Podcast coming at you. Obviously, it's just two dudes, and actually, you probably don't even recognize one of these dudes. So, first and foremost, just acknowledging, hey, we haven't recorded in over a year, and this is going to start looking different. I still expect Aaron and JJ to join more often than not, but what this is going to become is, instead of a weekly update on what's going on fantasy wise, it's going to be a weekly update of what's going on in our league. It's going to be to kind of help grow our league, make it more fun. And I hope anybody who joins us starts to see that this podcast is to help every league grow. We'll still talk about fantasy players and players that got picked up that week and all the other fun stuff. But this league is important, and I want to kind of show that part of it and not worry about being another podcast that talks about, hey, who should you pick up on the waiver wire and that kind of stuff. So you're going to notice some changes. And one of the big one is today, Ryan's in our league, TDs and Beer. And, I want everybody to get to know Ryan. Ryan, unfortunately, didn't get to make last year's draft, which was his first year. And so I thought this would be the perfect episode to, hey, we're starting something new. We're doing something fun. We're still talking fantasy football. We're still going to have a great time with it. But hey, for all my league mates who didn't get to meet Ryan last year, let's meet Ryan. So Ryan,
yeah,
nice to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I know it's funny because you and I have talked about, doing our own kind of podcast and just kind of doing something together. So it's cool that, I get to come on and at least do this one time and hopefully a couple times throughout the season. Like Steven mentioned, I wasn't able to make the draft last year. It was the kind of first year I was able to join. We had talked about it. And I was really excited to do that. Couldn't make it, but it was still fun to kind of participate in the year and do fantasy kind of at a more serious level. That was really the first time I had done that, which was pretty cool,
Yeah.
And it was funny because you told me, too, because the only kind of fantasy thing I'd done before was on, everyone drafting online and whatever. And you're like, no. We don't do that. We draft live. And I was like, oh, what the hell? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, I guess a little bit about me. For those of you that don't know, actually, Steven's my older cousin. Our parents are siblings, as you could probably tell by the gray hair. We're related, right? And I'm a Chiefs fan.
The only difference is you have hair and I.
I am a Chiefs fan. Everyone in our family kind of is, except for Steven, actually. He is kind of the outsider, but that's okay. We love him all the same. Either way, our parents lived in Kansas City for a little bit there, so that's where that comes from. So it's been a good few years, but that's a good few years after a lot of really crappy years. It was kind of hard growing up whenever, I'm like, Dad, why do we like this team? we're
suffer together forever.
Yeah, over and over and over again. And it's turned out to be all right. It's funny. I was kind of that guy that when we traded away Alex Smith, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? He turned our franchise around and then it turned out again to be okay. So it's been all right, but I'm really excited for this year. I have, kind of the pressure and the privilege of having the first pick in this upcoming draft.
This is big, right? You get the first pick and before we jumped into the draft part of it, what did you think about last year? Last year was, if I'm being honest with you, I got a text from JJ at one point and said, is Ryan going to set his lineup?
Yeah.
And so, what'd you think? It's different, right?
It is different. Yeah. And taking it, kind of to that, level, like I said, of playing in a more serious league, but then also on top of that was just playing in more than one league.
Yeah.
I hadn't done that before either. So I normally just play in one with my friends and I just had to worry about one.
Yeah.
And not look at two. Also in that other league, we don't do defensive players. We do a defense.
Yep.
That's it's a little thing, but it's still a thing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was, I knew that the team I took over was in last place the year before that.
Yep.
So baby steps for me. I'm a baby step person. Was let's not come in last. For a while there, it looked like I was.
It did not look good. I really thought you were going to be playing in the toilet bowl. So
I know. So it worked out okay. But it was fun. It was fun to see kind of everyone's transactions throughout the year and to watch you guys and kind of get tips on on things, right? I'm a big football fan, but fantasy football is just different, you know, taking into account, you have to be in kind of a weird way, you know, kind of selfless as far as watching teams and players, right?
Yeah.
I'm so hyper fixated on the Chiefs historically that I don't really care what other people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, at one point I remember a text where you're like, I can't start Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes. And I was like, I think you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's funny. So that was a cool perspective. And I think kind of did a lot for me as far as that goes, fantasy growth wise.
Well, and Ryan and I have talked about this, and I remember telling you is, you know, at the end of the day, fantasy football is still your team. So you should still enjoy that part of it. Right. So I'm glad that, I understand not wanting to start. I didn't draft Tom Brady during all those years he dominated. So I can't blame you. Like, I can't start. Right. But there's this like fine line of, I want to be competitive, but I also kind of don't want to root for that guy.
For sure.
Well, good. I mean, it was good. You, like I said, you got out of it. And for anybody who doesn't know, in our league, we do the bingo balls, right? So you finished 7th. That means you had the, you know, 4th best chance to get the number 1 overall pick. The balls just happened to land where you ended up getting the number 1 overall pick. So I'm sure you're trying to figure out your keeper and, you know, all that other fun stuff, which does add a different dimension. So
definitely,
you know, it's good. Yeah. It's good. And it'll give you a chance to really kind of dig into it this year, especially now that you've seen a year of it. And you get to come to the draft.
Which will be a lot of fun.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited for you to see it. But that actually takes me to the next part. So there's some changes coming along for our league. So for our league members, most of them probably don't know all the things I've been doing behind the scenes. So you've been privy to it because we go to the gym together all the time. But there are some things that I've been working on to make the league better, right? First and foremost, this, right? I've decided that this podcast is going to be done weekly. Now, this podcast today will happen, and then we won't have another one for about 3 weeks until after our draft. And I've already lined up the guests for that, and we'll get into it before. But I'm going to do this weekly, and I'm going to talk about our league, and I'm going to talk about things that are happening. The big free agent budget. You know, who was I can't believe this person won. You know, talk about somebody's draft and be like, this team looks terrible. Right. And I'm going to bring on somebody every week from our league. Jacob, bunch of people that I have coming. So. From our league to talk about their team. I want to give different perspectives for people who are watching this just to watch. You know, I mean, we don't have a ton of subscribers, but we have a few. But I also want our league to be able to have something to kind of talk about in our group chat. So I'm changing that. Our live draft, I'm changing the platform a little bit. So I'm hoping we can all still get in person, but I understand, just like last year, Ryan has life happening. This year, Jacob, he's going to miss the draft. I found a website where we can all still draft in person, but if somebody's not in person, they can draft, and it's not on Yahoo. And so that was my goal, is how can we there's enough technological advances. How can we make the league a little better? So I'm really excited when everybody comes to the draft to see the changes. I have some quirky draft things that I've been cooking up. I've been on Amazon ordering a lot of stuff. Obviously we still have our loser, Aaron. I've already got his, loser punishment stuff that he has to wear. And I'm going to make him wear that, go to Dion's, order the pizzas for the party, all the stuff that we've been doing. That's not changing. I have some ideas for next year's loser punishment and stuff along that lines, but I also wanted to reward, our champions a little bit more. So, there's going to be a few little surprises. Hopefully everybody enjoys them for the draft this year. I don't want to spoil them. I really want, especially Joe and Mike, they did win the league, mad props. I really want them to see it and hopefully enjoy it.
Yeah.
I want our group chat to be talked about. Yeah. So I'm trying to make this more fun for everyone. And that's the goal, right? That's why we're doing the podcast. That's why I'm changing it up. Yeah. It has nothing to do with that. I think our league is bad, but I think we can do better. And that's what I'm hoping people start to take from this is, how can I have more fun in fantasy? And, if my commissioner's not doing these things, maybe I should be the commissioner. Sure. I want people to have a good time. So I hope people in the comments tell us. I hope our group chat roasts me for whatever this is. And they roast you and we have a good time. Yeah. As for anything else, I was hoping that we would have a few more rule changes that people were interested in. We haven't gotten any in. So the only rule change I know that's coming up this year is 6-point passing touchdowns. Last year on the podcast, I made an argument for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an opinion on it?
I think since I'm so kind of fresh into the fantasy space, I don't. I think I'm excited to see the difference in it, But I think for me, it's just an observe and roll with it type of thing,
I thought 6 points would be good for quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen will always be amazing because they run.
Mm-hmm.
But a passing touchdown's worth 4, or it used to be, and a rushing touchdown's worth 6. So Josh Allen running for 20 touchdowns and maybe only throws 20, shouldn't that be the same as, Patrick Mahomes if he throws 40?
Sure.
So
yeah,
that was the argument for it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. Do you have any changes that you've hey, I do this in another league, or are you just like, nah?
No, again, same thing. I wish I had kind of more input as far as that goes. But more so, actually, I've taken, I think, more things from this league into
other leagues,
to the league that I'm a commissioner in,
yeah,
especially when it comes to more so like rewards and punishments and stuff. You'd kind of suggested to me, you're the commissioner, suggest something, or just kind of it's your decision, right? Put it forward. And if people don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. So that's the biggest thing for me. I think that, I'm here, and I think, some people will probably be able to relate to this, and a lot of people maybe not. I'm here to kind of just have fun.
Yeah.
Right. And play within whatever rules are given to me.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the part that I enjoy about it. So I'm excited for this year and kind of to see these changes unfold. And maybe I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I didn't like this as much, or yeah, I can tell this is a lot of fun. So
as the commissioner, just from a different perspective, my biggest thing is, how do I get 9 other people for our league together on a certain day, have a good time, and make sure everybody's enjoying themselves. Right. So I actually started sending group texts in July.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody's even thinking about football. And first thing on my mind is, how can I do this?
Yeah.
Like you said, I think getting everyone together, honestly, I make the joke every year, but I seriously do mean it. Draft day is like my Christmas. It's my favorite day of the year. I love draft day. I love fantasy football, don't get me wrong, but it's getting together with people that I only see once a year.
Sure.
Right. Jacob, who's been a friend for a long time, I literally only see on draft day, or if he wins and I have to give him money.
Yeah.
But now with Venmo, I just Venmo him. I don't even see him in person. So that's why I love draft day. And that's what my favorite part about fantasy football is, the camaraderie. Right.
Sure.
And that's why I want to bring you on. That's why I want to bring on and everybody, because in a lot of aspects, these people in this league are friends of mine, right? I'm the mutual point, and everybody else is new. Yeah. So you're new.
Right.
Rob, he's new. These are people I want everybody to get a chance to meet and see and interact with, not just one time a year, but hey, I saw you on the podcast, whatever. Or, hey, I want to do a trade with you, and I didn't have your number before, but now I'm getting a little more comfortable with it. So I just want to make the league more fun, and that's kind of the goal here.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I totally agree.
So looking forward to the draft, obviously, right? I kind of already, jumped the shark here, but the draft day coming up, are you looking forward to your first in-person actual draft? Because last year Sarah kind of went in for you.
Totally. Yeah, and she did a great job. Shout out to Sarah. We had a kind of a game plan, and she executed it better than I could have. So I was like, nice. Yeah, I am looking forward to that. I think it's funny. It kind of adds, and maybe, you can't remember when you first started doing it. It adds a level of pressure.
Oh, 100%. No, right? I still feel pressure.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. Yeah.
And so I'm trying not to think about that too much, because I think that the more you think about it, probably the more stress, you get about it. But for me, it's, I've played through, we were just talking at the gym the other day, through so many scenarios of what I could do. Right. It's like a blessing and a curse, I think, to have the first overall pick. Yeah. And so as far as it being in person, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to everyone just kind of, josh at each other and whatever, just for funsies, eating some good food.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that.
You have a little bit of less pressure because the draft just comes to you, right? You pick.
Sure.
20 picks happen. You pick your next 2 players.
Yeah.
There's no like strategy behind it. So
Yeah.
it is still stressful.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of any live draft is hearing, "Oh shit, that was mine." It's like, yes, got him. Right? Especially if you're like sitting there going, "Oh, which one do I want?"
Yeah, sure.
So that I do love that part of the draft. It does add a different dynamic, right?
For
like
sure.
I'm picking at 8.
Yeah.
And so I have the champs right behind me and Rob, who finished in second. So it's, it's tight right there, and they're great fantasy football players. I know that, hey, okay, I have to start looking at their teams and who might fall, and now who do I take this player here and hope that this guy falls back, and have they taken a quarterback already and I can pass on, things like that.
Definitely. So, and who keeps who, right? Just leading up to the draft, who's going to keep, what players and whatnot. And I'm sure that, certain that'll determine a lot of people's kind of who they want to draft first, right? And throughout the draft.
Keepers add a whole different dimension to it, because you're trying to keep value, right? So if you, I mean, I've already started looking at everybody who I think is going to keep who and blah, blah, blah. You end up with players like I have Puka in the 4th. That's great value, right? Like, hey, that's a first round, maybe early second round pick. Oh, I can keep him in the 4th. That's good value. Mike and Joe have Brian Thomas Jr. in the 10th. And so you start looking at players like that and you're like, what do I do? Right? Like, who's going to fall there? How many first round picks are going to be off the board? Right. So it does add another like little dimension to it. I will say for us, the league coming up, we need to remember, hey, get your keepers into me, right? The Friday before, but also remember, you can't keep a first or second round pick for a second year in a row. And any player you did keep last year cost you 2 more rounds. So Puka Nacua cost me 6 last year, 4th this year. Rob kept CeeDee Lamb in the 2nd last year. Can't keep him again. So I just want to call that out for all of us. That's how we run our keeper league. For anybody who's wondering, you get them 1 year at the price you picked them at, and then it goes up 2 rounds after that. And then free agents are 6th round picks. So anybody you pick up off of the waivers is a 6. It goes just defaults to a 6th round pick to the next year. So that's why I have Puka in the 6th, right? Because 2 years ago he was a waiver wire claim.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It also adds a little bit of strategy. I will say for keepers, Mike and Joe are probably the best at just drafting a lot of younger talent and hoping one of them hits. Every year I kind of am jealous because I look at it and go, they have all those guys and I didn't seem to draft enough. Yeah. So that's a different strategy too.
Sure. Yeah. And hey, it paid off for them this last year, right? In some aspect it had to have, right? So obviously
the year before they took Jonathan Taylor when he was holding out in the 9th round. Like they've just done well over and over and over again. I kind of hate him for it.
Yeah.
Like, and then I sit there and Joe talks to me all the time about how he's going to beat me again. And he's going to end up with his name on the title 4 times before I get my 4th. And, JJ thinks the same thing. We all know that's not true. JJ hasn't won in over like a decade. So. I'm going to get my jabs in. You're not going to be here, JJ. I'm going to talk some smack. Like this is on you, man. You could have been here and seen it face to face because I still just said it. Other than that though, I think this year's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think football in general, right? Even outside of fantasy, I'm just really looking forward to getting started, and obviously that plays into what we do in playing fantasy, and so it's going to be a really exciting year.
It is. I'm so excited this year for, like I said, all the changes I'm making towards our league that aren't going to affect how we play, but hopefully affect how we feel about playing.
Sure.
My goal this year is to really make sure people want to come back. I'm tired of having turnover in the league.
Sure.
Right. So not that I don't love having you and Aaron and Rob and all these guys who have joined over the years, but it feels like for the last probably 6 years, we've had a rotating door at about 2 to 3 people. I want that end.
Sure.
I would love to just end it and be more consistent. And I hope that this helps with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I want people to know how much I do love the league and I appreciate all of them, all of you guys who play in it, right? I want to make this fun for everyone.
Yeah. I think the first step, like you said, is just trying something.
Oh, no, we lost our camera. Oh, no. So I guess we're going to end it there. But, I appreciate all of you for being here. And I'm sure I will have a podcast coming out soon with everybody. I appreciate everyone and talk to you soon. Peace.